years.
Never been buried in life.
Honored to be here. I was also wanted to, too bad Catherine left, to let her know, first of all, I've always been in love with her, but to let her know how inspiring and moving her commentary was, and how much I appreciated this. I just told her before she left. She doesn't remember about, after she had met the real Michael Knight, we were in Gladstone's in Malibu, my nephew and I, having lunch and a beer or two. And
A beer or five.
and she came over to our table and sat with us for hours and chatted just as if we had always seen each other and as if we had always been great friends. And that's the kind of person she is. So I was really good to see her today. And as I said, I was in love with her. But she was smarter than. And we were there when I sat across from them and Michael gave her the big question. And I had told Michael, I said, why don't you get a little typewriter car, lift the hood up, and put the ring in it. So he did that. And that was a big hit with Catherine once she got over the shock that being supposed to put on the spot for having to say yes. But anyway, I was thinking that we had a lot of questions about the Sessoms and Slagle activity and work they did for us. And so I wondered if, while I'm here, we could elucidate on that further and hopefully answer any of your questions, since I was the one that made the deal for them. And I was the one that paid them.
I'll tell you what, do me a favor and re-elaborate over the budgetary reasons that led to that. The steps that led off to him doing it.
Right. Well, actually, it's a good place to start at the beginning. At the beginning, we spent incredible amounts of money on these Pontiacs, of which we had, I believe, 5 and some spare parts. And it was a brand new car. And we couldn't get replacement parts. We could get noses. So, and I did not do the first part of the pilot. I finished the pilot. I did not do the presentation. There was a presentation made and sold before I was there. And then I was assistant director on the rest of the pilot, and then I became the collection director. That was another happy circumstance. Once I got there, I changed the nose from those stupid little flaps, plexiglass flaps that covered the lights, the parking lights on the Trans Am. I made it all one piece, and then I had the nose made out of rubber. So every time we banged into it, we would have to repaint the cracked fiberglass nose. So George Barris did those for us. Just another famous name that you've heard of before, I hope.
I know George.
George, I've known George for many years. But anyway, so that's the first thing we did, and that saved us a few bucks, but we couldn't get parts. So, I mean, it was so bad that we had people working all night long. Hundreds of people trying to work at premium time, costing gazillions of dollars to fix these cars. Because of the Pontiac subframe, anytime we do a jump, no matter how small, the nose would bend. So it would look like, I don't know, a boat going uphill. So and finally, there was another train crash, and we got some more spare parts. Because I was dreaming about, I would have dreams of running around stealing Trans Ams at night and leaving a note, please call, we stole your Firebird. When the new ones come in, we'll return it. And that's just how oppressive a problem it had become. So off we go, and I knew that we couldn't keep up with these stunt things. That would take a lot of time. Take a crew of about 40 to shoot the second, away from the main unit to continue shooting the stunts, plus all their equipment, plus all the damage to the cars, and we couldn't afford to do anything else. So I started to investigate the new computer graphics, and there was one company in town over by MGM in a big brick building, and I can't remember the name of it. That's all right, I can't remember my name either. And I went down there and said, this is what we want, gave them pictures of the Firebird, and I asked them if they could make a model of it, a computer-generated model of it. And about a month and a half later, I had something that looked as if a first grader had done it with crayons. And I said, well, this isn't going to work. So I kept looking through the, there's a lot of reference books in Hollywood, trying to find somebody who could do what Pete Slagle does, a miniature photography. And I had done some for features in the past while I was I did airplanes landing on the wire, I did all kinds of things. On stage one, we had a big tank, and we built a miniature at 3/5 scale, so it would look right. But 3/5 scale isn't that much of a savings over a full scale. Well, why do we call it miniature? It's more like reduced size or dietetic work instead of miniature work. So I kept looking, and I remember having a Japanese gentleman come in whom I couldn't understand. It was the most beautiful girl I've ever seen. And he kept telling me, we can't do this. This can't be done. It's not possible to make a car, make it do all these things. And finally, I know you won't believe this, I lost my temper. And yelled and screamed at him. And said, something to the effect of, you dirty dumb poo-poo head, I didn't call you here to hear that this can't be done. You're supposed to be here to figure out how we can do this. So you're wasting my time and your time. And I went on and on. I finally threw my went on. So along comes, I don't remember how I got Pete's name, or it was Sesums and Slegos, and I got his name from somewhere. Gave him a call, he came right in and told him what I wanted to do, and he said, oh sure, we can do that. Okay, so we're off. I said, bring them all in, and I want some test footage, and we'll go on from there. So, and I'll pay you for your time to that point. So they came in, and they had done some stuff for us, and, jumps and that thing. They were familiar with the show. So I said, wow, this is great. So in the meantime, my favorite producer of all time, who had passed away, Bob Senator, by then, and we had a new producer named Joel Robeson, whom I also love. I go to Joel and said, this is back in the days, mind you, when there was one producer, one me, one director, and that was it. There were legions of crew people with all these different titles. And Universal